Working on Dorothy Allen. Started the last row that is the motifs. One thing I realized is that the numbers here, 5, 6, the color that they're in, I only have one piece of a strand left. Now, if you remember, I got the material from one person with the sampler already started, and I got the chart and the silks from somebody else, and she had, I believe, had already stitched her own, and so the silks were what was left over. And while there is plenty for the sampler, that particular color, let's see, which one is it? I'm just about out of. So that color is used not only for these numbers, the 5 and the 6, but also inside these flowers. So I'm just going to substitute something else. I think I'm going to use, do you see this green here? Let's see. This green, that's the only place this color is used, and actually it's not even supposed to be on the K, but the person that started this used it there and I just left it. That's the only place this color is used, so I am going to make the 5 and the 6 that color. And then I have plenty of other of these, like kind of lighter tan colors, so I'm just going to substitute one of those for the flower along with that brown, goldy brown. So I will be getting this done today. Later in the week, I will be doing a video on doing the hem stitch on this to get it kind of not fully finished necessarily, but at least finished and ready to get into a frame. That doesn't belong there. I need to skip one. Finished and ready to get into a frame whenever we get settled in San Antonio. So yeah, I did a kind of I do these kind of they're called away waist knots and needlepoint, but I don't put a knot in it. I just go down in my fabric a little bit far away when I'm starting something that I can't catch the thread tail, the end of the thread underneath something else. I didn't want to catch it up here, and then even though that's on only a couple spaces before I get here, this fabric is so light that it would really show through. So I just decided to do it this way. I just have to make sure that I am catching the thread on the back as I'm stitching. So that the tail is caught like it would normally be if I had run it under some of the threads that were already in place. So yeah, look for a finish on this sometime later this week. Hello everybody, Jan of Jan Hicks Creates here. As I mentioned, I was going to be changing my format up a little bit, so this is my my first video of that new format. I'm gonna try the vlog, the video log, kind of a daily thing, kind of like Christine Stitch All the Things does. I touched my face, but I did just wash my hands, and of course I never go anywhere, so that's not true. I go to the grocery store, we go out and do things, but anyway. So yeah, I'm going to do a little video every day and put them all together at the end of the week. I'm hoping that as things get crazier, as we get closer to the move, this will allow me to still have something for you guys every week without it being like one long thing that I have to gather all the stuff together and sit down and do. So I think it's going to work out okay. I also plan on every day doing little snippets of what I'm working on so that you will, I'm calling this my stitchy life, so that you'll really get a feel for, hopefully, what my everyday stitching world looks like. That's going to change drastically over the next few weeks, I know, as we get into the move and then move into the RV and spend a couple months living in the RV. But I'll still be, once we get into San Antonio, I'll still be stitching every day, hopefully doing these videos every day, and sharing with you whatever trials and tribulations, as I always do, happen to come along. So every day there isn't going to be a whole lot that changes or the whole lot to show. So I think each day will be fairly short, but hopefully in the end it will amount to, you know, a good but not too long video. So having said that, no personal news to share. Mike did go to work today and I haven't heard anything from him. I expect he would have called me if there was an email from HR giving us any kind of news. So there you have it for that update. Wonder what that thread goes to. Do you ever do that? You like have your project sitting in front of you and there's a stray strand of floss and it's like, that's not one of the colors in the floss. What does that go to? I think that's actually a stray strand of silk that got cut off and didn't get thrown away. No stash to show you. I'm being very careful about what I'm ordering these days because we basically have 3 weeks, hopefully, before we move. Hopefully. At this point, I'm not taking anything for granted, so I'm trying not to order anything really at this point. Anyway, yesterday and this morning, I did do some stitching, I know. So I worked more on my bell pull. Started building the leaves underneath the nest. And then I did the yellow line of mosaic stitch down the other side by the bird. And I just love how that really gives it that kind of finished look. I need to put it in over here on this side so it's going down in amongst all these leaves. But look how small that is, 40 count. So the width on that, let me get a ruler here that's handy. Hold on. That was an up close and personal look, huh? So the width on this is just about 3 inches from like the longest, like the leaves over to the tail of the bird. It is so sweet. Just love it. So yeah, this is still going to be in my queue for a while. And then Dorothy Allen, I was going to get the motifs done yesterday. I did get that last line, got the next line of long-armed cross in there. But I found that one of the colors of floss that I needed for, it's this color here for 2 motifs, well actually in the center of this motif here, I do not have enough. So I had to kind of rethink what I was going to use there. And I actually did the little video that you'll see at the beginning of this. Kind of discussing that. You know, it's strange doing this kind of, it's that whole timey-wimey thing again. You'll have already seen it. I'm talking about it afterwards because it's not been put up yet. Yeah. Punch needle. Michelle Palmer's Ranunculus Bouquet. Love this. So mostly yesterday I did some of these smaller bits, kind of painting with these colors in here to fill in the smaller colors in the background. I still have white to put in some swaths of white, and then the rest of it gets filled in with 746. So you kind of get in the more detail work and then fill in around it with whatever the big chunk of color is. So that was pretty much all I did yesterday as far as working on my projects. I'm waiting on a hank of floss from Raquel, Mrs. Sadas, one of her new colors. I don't know whether I'll have it for tomorrow, but hopefully the next day. So yeah, I think that is all I have for you today. I hope that this works well. I hope that this flows well. We shall see. And I will see you tomorrow for a catch up. Of course, I am doing my live videos tomorrow for my birthday. You're not going to see this until after that's all over. But hopefully we all have fun together. This is weird. I have to get this worked out. But stick with me, guys. We're going to have fun here over the next however long, right? Take care, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hello everybody, back for today's update. It is Friday, March 13th, Friday the 13th, after my birthday, March 12th, and a full moon this week. It's been a week for all kinds of portents, but unfortunately we have no news. Yeah, no news at all. Mike sent an email to the HR department back in Maryland before he left work today saying, please, we've got to know soon. We've got to get off this island. He heard back that our paperwork is with this person's boss, but no information on when a decision will happen, what the queue looks like, you know, where we are, The only positive, I guess, is that we did find a different moving company that is a little bit more streamlined in their process. They don't have to come out to the apartment to do a survey. We just went over on the phone everything that we have furniture-wise, size, trying to estimate how many boxes. And they were able to give us a quote on that. Mike is kind of streamlining that now, which the guy kind of expected would happen, and he'll send that to him. We have decided to keep the Jeep because with the financial situation in the country being what it is at this point, we don't really want to take out a loan or make ourselves short on cash. Although this move is going to hurt if the government doesn't pick it up. We're kind of to the point now where we're ready to say, listen, you guys make your decision whenever. Let's get this paperwork going so we can get orders and get packed up and out of here. We are going to pack up as much as we can ourselves. It's going to save us a little money and also hopefully make the process go a little faster. So with this second company, we are scheduled to pack out on the 27th and we will fly out on the 28th. We don't have airline reservations. We don't have any reservations until Mike gets his orders. And again, you know, hopefully in 2 weeks' time, which is what we have, 2 weeks from today is the 27th, he'll have orders hopefully before that so we can make reservations. We have to make a reservation for one night here, either at the Navy Lodge on Fort Island, which is where we stayed before we moved into the apartment when we arrived here, or there's an inn on Schofield Barracks that will take animals. If neither of those places have openings for one night, then we're going to have to board the cats overnight someplace, or even, I guess we could just leave them in the empty apartment. I don't know when we'll be turning in the keys, so I don't know. But anyways, nothing can happen until we have orders.
Yeah, we could actually do that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that this morning. I'm talking to Mike. Hello. So yeah. I think we'll feel better through the weekend as we start to pack, just because we'll feel like we're making progress in some way. But yeah, everything, we don't have any knowledge about anything else at this point. So on to the stitching. I had a wonderful birthday yesterday. I had so much fun in my live videos. Thank you to all those who were able to join me. I am going to do those for all of my Stitch With Me videos from now on. Haven't figured out anything more as far as the dual camera angle thingy. It does seem to be possible within YouTube, but again, I think that is working from a webcam on a desktop. So we'll see, but that's my plan. I did have my new starts yesterday, and I will show those in a second. I had a finish though, if you didn't see it all over social media. I did finish the Dorothy Allen sampler. This is the one by R&R Reproductions, one of their first, as far as if I remember correctly. Stitched on 35 count linen with Alvera Soie silks. I did remember to put my initials and the date I finished it in there. And I love this. This is a super quick stitch, a very easy stitch. I loved having just a few specialty stitches, nothing real brain twisting. So this, as I mentioned, I am going to hem stitch it, and I will do a video, hopefully here at some point during the next 2 weeks, showing you what that looks like. I've never done it before, so it'll be a learning process for me as well as you, which probably means it'll be a comedy of errors. Hopefully not. I don't think it's too hard. I did work a little bit more on my bell pull. So again, the seasonal bell pull. This is available from Kohler Design Studios, following an apple tree through the different seasons. I am stitching this on 40 count linen with the called for DMC, and I love it. So I'm starting to work down underneath the little nest there with the baby bird. I got the other side of the yellow in. I don't know whether that was on there when I showed you the other day or not. But anyway, working more on the leaves down here. Love it, love it, love it. This may get put aside a little bit. Farewell to Anger is calling me. I really want to pull that back out, but I feel like I should get one of these other smalls done first. But anyways, this one may take a little bit of a back seat. I'm looking around to figure out where I can put it down. I worked just a little bit on Jane Marshall the night after I finished Dorothy Allen. So this is the one by Hands Across the Sea, the fundraiser for the firefighters in Australia. And I just got some of this little vine here done. I am doing this in Mrs. Sada's silk, so totally not the called for color. Similar, but not exact. And again, just a super sweet stitch. This is 40 count Liberty Gray Gathering fabric from R&R Reproductions again. So I plan to spend a little more time on that now that Dorothy Allen is done, but I'm also spending more time on the Armchair Pin Keep. And so I worked a little bit more, got the basket done this morning and started the vine, one of the flowers coming out of the basket. This is a 32 count mystery linen, or maybe it's a 28 count, I don't remember. It's a mystery linen that was a gift from somebody. So that's what we have so far. You know, I had been planning to try and get this done and like fully finished before we leave, but that's not going to happen. And actually, I have a question for you guys. For those that are in the San Antonio area that are familiar with the cross stitch store there, do they have a finisher? Somebody that I can send stuff to fully finish? I am not going to, my sewing machine will be packed up in our household goods, and I don't expect to have access to the household goods for at least 2 or 3 months, if not longer, after we move there. And by the time we find a house and go through closing and all that, it's going to be at least 2 months, if not longer. We're not going to be in any rush to buy. We'll get settled. We'll get to a feel for the different neighborhoods, the traffic, the different areas before we seriously start looking. But yeah, there's you know, so much is going to be, I'm going to be absent from it for so long. I keep debating about my fabric, whether I should try and take that with me or not. I'm feeling like I should use whatever period I have when we're living in the RV just to work on all the projects that I'll be taking with me and not start on anything new. And if I don't take my fabric with me, that kind of reduces the temptation to start something new. So that's the way I'm thinking at this point. So my birthday starts. Number 1 was Serenity by Northern Expressions Needlework. So this is the one with the darling floss and the beads. It is stitched on a 32 count. I am actually stitching it on a 28 count, but, well, let me first show you and then we'll talk about what a fiasco yesterday was. So, as I was in the live, I did get a full swirl done. So, finally, as I was in the live video, oh my goodness, did I keep goofing up. Just, I must have had to take out the same 10 or 15 stitches like 3 or 4 times. You know, it's one thing when I do my stitch with me's, I don't have to pay attention to the camera. I'm just looking down. I'm talking to you guys, but I'm just looking down at my stitching and looking at the pattern, you know. I don't have to read the chat flow at the same time and respond to like 15 different conversations at one time. So yeah, I didn't get very far in the chat. And the chat lasted an hour. But I was able to last night get a full section done here. So this is Peacock silk floss from Mrs. Sada. So you can see it's not the same kind of variegation as is in the Darling, but you can see the switch from pause for the garbage truck, the switch from dark to light. So one of the questions that I had, because I was working on a 28 count versus the 32 count, is how well these bigger beads would fit within the stitches as charted. And these are Jessica stitches, so they're like these layered circular stitches, which I've never done before. And I will still do a video on doing those, but I decided to go ahead and give it a try yesterday after I finished the live video, just to get a feel for how it's constructed. Well, that took me like 4 or 5 tries before I got it right. It was a challenge. I will still do a video, like I said. I think I have it figured out, and most of my problem was reading the directions on the page as they were written, and I'll go over all of that when I do the video. But this is Caribbean blue fabric. I am not sure what company. It's definitely not Zweigert. I'm pretty sure it's a Witchelt base. So it might be an Old Weeks Dye Works, but Caribbean blue is the color, and it's Peacock from Mrs. Sadus. So there is that. And then my second new start was BG 1874 from Samplers Not Forgotten. This is a big one. So I'm starting here with the alphabets. I'm on a 40 count, again, Weeks Dye Works fabric the colorway is linen. And that's what I got done last night for that. I'm using a lot of Mrs. Sadus floss in this. When I look at this picture, I thought this was black floss for the letters. It's actually a very dark navy blue. So it's a little bit darker than the blue that I'm using here. This is a kind of a lighter navy, I guess. But I think it's gorgeous, and I'm going with it. I have cut a 29-inch piece of fabric here. So yeah, this is going to be big. That's with 2-inch margins all around. So yeah, it's going to be a big one. But I love how fast alphabets go. It really makes you feel like you're getting something done. So, those are my new starts. I don't know how much I'm going to touch those. I'm going to show you the Jessica stitch on, Serenity. I don't know. It changes from day to day how I'm going to work things. And of course, I'm going to be packing a lot over the next 2 weeks. So, I just don't know how much I'm actually going to get done. But you'll still see me. I'll be still doing stuff in the evenings, and I can only pack so much during the day before my back starts yelling at me. So yeah. Now I am going to have another new start here soon. I am starting on the 20th, Mini Quaker Stitches by Jeanette Douglas. Sue Morelli and I are starting this. Sue is going to be at the Frugal Yankee Retreat up in New England on the 20th, on that weekend. So she's starting it there, and I'm starting it many, many, many miles away, but with her. I'm not using anything called for. I know, what a surprise. I was going to try and get the wool, because this does call for wool. It's charted in both the General Arts Simply Wool and DMC. And then getting the wool was just too much of a hassle. 123 Stitch does carry it, but they're out of stock of several of the different colors. And who knows when they get something like that back in stock. So then I was going to go with DMC, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do DMC. I mentioned before how much I love Kathy Grebachenko's version of the Linen and Thread sampler this year from the 2020 Mystery Sampler. And so I thought, I think I'm going to kind of go that route, kind of more of a monotone, monochrome, tonal, and Mrs. Sadus silks, right? You see a theme here. And then I pulled them out and thought, something? Popcorn. So that's this one on the end. This is Gloriana Silk, colorway Bellagio. And I don't know whether you can see all the different colors, but I think what Jeanette did was started with that and pulled out the different colors from that in choosing the colors for the rest of the motifs. So that's what I did. starting with popcorn, kind of leaning more towards the pinks because I'm so in love with Kathy's colorway, but then adding in a gray for the vase and then this spark of blue because there is this gorgeous aqua, light aqua blue in popcorn. So those are my floss colors. I'm undecided though on the fabric. So this is as you can see, a pale 32 count. This is a mystery linen. This is what I actually did my 2017 linen and thread sampler on, mystery sampler. So it has kind of blush modeling to it. And I do really like that. But I also pulled out this one. Jeanette's model is on 32 count, so that these are both 32 count. So this is the floss colors on this one. And I really like the way they pop on this one too. So I want to know what you think. Which one do you like better? The darker, the raw linen look? Or the lighter linen? Let me try and get these laying nicely. So there's popcorn, and then some of the coordinating ones. Let me know what you think. Maybe I should make two. Anyways, let me know what you think. Okay, so that's all that stuff. I do have some goodies to show you today. I'll save the best for last. Excuse me. I'll save the best for last. I got something called counting pins. My Big Toe Designs. I got these from 123 Stitch. There's two pins connected by this little fob thingy. And I will show you how to use this when I'm showing you the Jessica stitch, because this would have come in really handy as I was trying to do that. I didn't get it until the day after, I guess yesterday. Last night is when we picked up the mail. So there's that. I got a bag from Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. She sells these on her Instagram page, Kindred Stitcher Designs. She periodically throws some bags together and sells them there. And when I say throws some bags together, I mean beautifully creates. She has a great eye for fabric. She puts these little safety pins with pretty buttons on it, coordinating buttons as a zipper pull. That is the inside fabric. Beautifully stitched, of course. She is a quilter, so she knows a thing or two about stitching. Nice weight to it. It's not floppy. It's just a beautiful, beautiful bag. So, thank you, Lisa. It's gorgeous. And last but not least, I'm going to put some fabric behind it. Rouge from Mrs. Sadus. Now, I do feel like quite a tease with this. Raquel has actually decided to close her shop temporarily until the end of the month because of the coronavirus outbreak. She does not, I don't think it's any worse in Spain than it is any place else in particular, but she is proceeding with caution. She's decided to close her shop so she's not mailing stuff out, touching stuff and sending it out into the world, which I think is brilliant of her. So this is not available. She will be opening up again in April, hopefully, and this will be available then. It is called Rouge. And I hope you can get an eye for just how gorgeous this is. It's darker than 814. It is, there's parts of it that are similar to 3685. It's just stunning. She said she's going to be taking the break, taking time over while she has the store closed to dye up a lot of this, because I told her it's going to fly off the shelves. All right, that is what we have today. I don't know whether I'll record it all over the weekend. I'll probably do my little stitch with me, you know, showing it that I'm going to be including through these little videos. But I don't know whether I'll actually sit down and talk about anything. We'll have to see. We'll see what the weekend brings. But until then, I hope you have a lovely weekend. I know I won't have any more news for you until Monday afternoon. And this video, well, you'll know when it goes up when it goes up. I don't know when it's going up yet. So until then, I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Good morning, everybody. Jan of Jan Hicks Creates here, coming at you with, I think, the last of my updates for this compilation series. I'm not sure how this is going to work out since we're staying here. I'm not sure if I need to worry about doing small ones every day. But anyway, I'm jumping ahead of myself. It is Tuesday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Not sure anybody's really feeling like celebrating St. Patrick's Day at this point, but for all those that are, happy St. Patrick's Day. I don't celebrate. I never have. Don't even go out and drink the green beer. Let's see. So, life update. We're here for the foreseeable future. Department of Defense issued a travel ban, a domestic travel ban for all military and civilian employees and their families until May 11th. So we are here at least until then. On May 11th, they will be reevaluating. I'd be very surprised if we get the all clear at that point. So, canceled my, well, I sent an email to Leslie to cancel my reservation for the Stitching Sirens retreat. I haven't heard back from her on that yet. I sent an email to Barbara at Keepsakes canceling my reservation for StitchCon. So very sad, but even if they do lift the travel ban on May 11th, it'll take a couple weeks for us to get organized enough for a pack out, then fly into Phoenix and get the RV sorted and get on the road to San Antonio. Will be another week and a half, week, somewhere around in there. We'll barely be in San Antonio when I'd have to leave for Cincinnati, and that's just more stress than I want to deal with. So, sad about it, but necessary at this point. And, you know, to send in the cancellation before the April 1st deadline was important, because that's a chunk of change. So, making the best of it. Mike's agency has gone to split shifts, which means split schedule, I guess, which means they're only going to have half the people in at any given time. The other half will stay home, and they will get admin leave for it. So it's not like, you know, they'll still be getting paid. It's not like they have to take their own leave or sick leave or anything like that. So that is a blessing. The boys are for the most part okay. Samuel works at 2 different places, a spa and a wellness center. As of yesterday, the spa was closing. The wellness center was not, but Samuel is choosing to stay home. Like I've said before, he is an asthmatic. So he doesn't need to be exposing himself unduly. We are going to cover as much as he needs for as long as he needs. Ben, we talked to him this morning. He is in Orlando. I would think Orlando is looking pretty much like a ghost town at this point. With the parks closing, it is time for snowbirds to fly back home. So the restaurant that Ben works at is closing as of Thursday, I think he said, and will be closed until April, and then they will reevaluate. So Ben thinks he's okay. I let him know that he needs to be thinking about returning to Maryland to live with his dad if things get bad. He doesn't want to expose his father because, you know, his father is in his 50s like us, unless he absolutely needs to. And while I appreciate that, I don't know how long he can go without working. So he's looking forward to a big tax return, I guess, but how long is that going to last? So yeah, the boys are okay for the most part. Mike's parents are another worry, of course, and that worry will continue. They are now planning on moving into the other facility. They can, while it's on lockdown, I think they got word that they can still move. And once they're there, they are very close to Mayo Clinic, like I've said before, and they can pretty much self-isolate within their apartment. They have a full kitchen and everything there. So, and they could get grocery delivery. Well, I don't know whether they could get grocery delivery since it's in lockdown. Probably not. So there is that worry. But in spite of that, we do have a lot to be thankful for in that we're okay here. We've actually been stockpiling a little bit for a while, not toilet paper. We got a big thing of toilet paper a while ago at Costco, and with just the 2 of us, we're good. Bidets. What'd you say? Oh, bidets, yes. Mike has ordered bidets. We are going the bidet route. So that will be interesting. I will not report back on that. Chicken. Unless you want me to. Yes, Mike is home now until next Monday. He goes back in. So the other team is in the office now. So yeah, I mean, I've canceled, let's see, we had dentist appointments next Monday. I canceled those. I have a hair appointment at some point that I have to cancel. I'm going to do a phone consultation with my gynecologist next Thursday instead of going into the office there. The one appointment I am keeping is my dermatologist checkup for this thing on my nose. The scab has fallen off, but it still looks questionable to me, so I don't want to cancel that one. So yeah, we're doing good. I hope you guys are doing good. You know, self-isolating, Like you've seen the memes all around. We have plenty of stuff to keep us busy. I have no problem being on my own. And of course, I'm not really isolated because I have all of you guys, right? I am connected to thousands of you. I do plan on doing more live videos, so stay tuned for that. I haven't researched the whole dual camera thing yet. I have to work on that a bit the rest of the week and figure it out. But if I get it figured out, well, whether I get it figured out or not, Friday I will be doing a live video of some sort. You can anticipate Mike chiming in because he will be here. I don't know whether you can hear him chiming in from downstairs at this point, but yeah. All right, so stitchy stuff. Let's see. Start with the Prim Village giveaway. We do have a winner, Christy M. You are the winner. Please email me at jan@madforyarn.com with your mailing address, and I will get those in the mail. I have a whole stack of mail to go out, the mesh bags from the last giveaway and several other gifts for people. I was going to go to the post office. I'm going to try and do the whole online thing. There seems to be times where I have problems doing first class mail, getting postage online with first class mail, but I don't know. Hopefully I can get it to work. It's all domestic mail, so it should be fine. Okay, stitching. I have a finish, although the finish isn't really stitching. It is punch needle, and yes, I still do have it on the Morgan hoop, because there are a few little places where, and I don't know whether you'd even be able to see them on camera. There's a few places where the loops are kind of scarce. You probably can't see that as well. So there are a couple places I want to go back in and try and fill in. But that, for the most part, is done. This is called Ranunculus Bouquet by Michelle Palmer. She does have an Etsy store. So, love that. Don't know how I'll finish it, but love it. Let's see, what have I done since Friday when I gave my last update? I did get the release 4 from Fat Quarter Shop's Bloomtopia done. So that is just this little bit in here. This is 32 count Witch Out Water Lily Linen and All Weeks Dye Works colors, my own color conversion. I do have my color conversion listed on my website on my color conversion page. So release 4 comes out at the end of, or release 5 comes out at the end of the month. I had mentioned that I was aching to get back to Farewell to Anger. So there it is. So I finished what I had left in one of my diagonals and started the next one. So my diagonals are not really, you know, nice straight diagonals. I kind of do cross country across a diagonal. And of course that gets more and more difficult as the diagonals get longer. And so there will come a point where I won't, you know, I'll have to end threads and start threads. But I mean, the back is not looking, oh my goodness. That will get edited out. The back isn't looking too bad. I love it. I love how all these colors are coming together. Look how pretty that is. So I have my parked threads. Those are the long ones that you see. And then the little threads are my starts and ends. And you know, some people manage to keep this really neat, like in a straight line going up. I just don't seem to be able to do that for some reason. And I am okay with that. So I'll keep working on this, I think. This makes me happy. And Lord knows I need whatever I can get to keep me happy and keep my brain occupied these days. I'm working here and there still on the Armchair Pin Keep from Heartstring Samplery. Yes, I still want to get this done, but so many things call. So I had that border done. I had the basket done. Now I'm working on the stuff in the basket. This is 32 count on mystery linen. Using the not using the called for threads, using what I could find that was similar. So I'm still gonna keep working on this, little bits here and little bits there. As with Jane Marshall, I forgot to bring Jane Marshall up. I don't know if I got that much done, any more done on that over the weekend, because I was really working on Farewell to Anger. But when confirmation came down yesterday that indeed we were not going any place for the foreseeable future, there was a very minute possibility that they would waive us, since our PCS was kind of, sort of, a little bit in the loop, but we weren't really holding out much hope, and that was confirmed. I'm consoling myself with Death by Cross Stitch. And you know, it's a very gray, rainy day here today. So the light isn't great, but I am using the new Rouge floss from Mrs. Sadas. This is not available yet. She sent me an advanced skein for my birthday so I could play with it. Her shop is closed. She said at least until April. Spain is pretty much in a complete quarantine, a total shutdown. So she is quarantined in her home. She decided to close her shop because she didn't want to she couldn't go to the post office to mail anything, basically. And so she will open again when she's able. She said she's going to spend the time dyeing a lot of rouge. And she may be renaming it, I don't know. I offered the suggestions that came up on my live video for, what was it, Death in Red or Red Death? She kind of liked that. But anyways, this is my Death in Red. I am starting in the upper right corner. Most people start in the upper left, so of course I have to be a rebel and start on the other side. So that's what I got done last night. I do have this in Pattern Keeper. Long Dog samplers do work. The PDFs do work in Pattern Keeper. This is being stitched over 1 on 25 count. And this is a 25 count Lugana that I had gotten in one of the packages sent by Fat Quarter Shop. So I thank them for that. It is being put to good use. It took pretty much, it was a 18 by 27 inch piece that came in that package. And the cut that I needed for over 1 on 25 is 18 by 21. So there is that. So that will continue to get worked on too. I know everything. Okay, before I talk about haul, I want to talk about some free charts and a giveaway. There's a lot of, not a lot, I've seen a handful of designers, and more may join in as time goes on, designing free charts for this rather difficult time that we are in. So I've compiled a list of them. I'm not going to show you the pictures here. I will have links to all of them down below. I am going to put the links as well in probably in my Facebook group. I don't know whether, I never know whether it's overkill to do it on both the group and the page, but I probably will. And I will add to that as I find new things. So far I have found, just came out this morning, I got an email from the Drawn Thread. I am on their email newsletter. She has a chart called Be Well that she did for this time in our lives. I could swear I saw a chart from Summer House Stitchworks out there on Facebook, but I could not find that this morning. So if anybody knows of that one, if you could link me up, I'd appreciate it. Carolyn Manning has a free one that she put up yesterday, and she is going to periodically be doing other free ones. It's called Together We Stitch. I have the link to that. She is also adding, as PDFs only, a bunch of her early designs to her website for like $3. So they're just little, some of them are more cuter things before she kind of got into the more full coverage geometric patterns. So I recommend you look for those if you're looking for some cute, fun little designs. She has those. But she does have this free one, like I said. And my understanding is she's going to be creating new free ones periodically as we go through this. Amanda Gregory has a pretty one called Daffodils that I found. And then Jardin Privé also has a new free one, but when I went to their website, they have a whole page of really nice free little charts. So I will be linking the page here. Giveaway. Just got an email. Oh boy, my iPad is really, it must not have charged last night. You wanted to know that, right? Just got an email from Victorian Motto Shop. She is doing a huge giveaway to make us happy in this situation. She does ship around the world, so it is open to everybody. So let's see. I'm reading from the email. One winner will win a free month in the Floss Club of their choice, 12 skeins, primitive or limited editions. One winner will win a free month in the Linen or Ada Club. She's going to give away one of her harmony charts complete with floss. And that is that. So that's a really pretty Quaker with a bird and a kind of surrounded by flowers in the middle. That is pretty. She's going to give away one of her America the Beautiful collections. So that is that. Red, white, blue, and gold. She's going to give away she says 12 skeins of spring colors. I will choose those from previous Floss Club shipments. So she doesn't have a picture of that. She'll just pull something together, but it'll be spring colors. One winner will receive one of my sampler charts. One winner will receive my Purple Passion 12 skein collection. So that is all of that gorgeousness. Let's see. And last of all, let's give away one of the 30 skein, 20 yards each of her primitive collection. She says, I will be adding new colors this year. Okay, so what do you need to do? You must be a follower. Now, to be a follower, you need to go to her blog, Victorian Motto Sampler Shop, and I will link that below. And along the side, you will see something that says Faithful Friends. It's basically her newsletter subscription. So you need to subscribe to that. You don't need to be a current club member, but you do need to be current in your invoices if you are. And you need to post a comment. You will see this email that I got as a post on her blog. You need to post a comment on that blog, and then she will choose from one of the people that posted. So, run, don't walk to Victorian Motto Sampler Shop for your chance to win one of those goodies. So I've been going back and forth on whether I wanted to get any more of the market goodies. I still have some money left on my gift card, so I may or may not. I keep going back and forth. At first I stopped because I thought I was leaving in 2 weeks. Now I'm not. So bring on the shipments. But anyways, I do have some goodies to show you that I got in. So I ordered, as you know, I pre-ordered from Julie, Gulf Coast Stitches, 4 of the Teresa Kogut ones, and I did get those in. Is it bad that I want to start all 4 of these? Okay, so this one is Faith, Hope, Peace, and Love. And you know, I'm going to go ahead and take these out of the wrappers so you can really see them. And pardon the crinkling and my strange faces as I wrestle with them. So I don't really usually care for people in samplers. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't really care for samplers that much, because so many of them have people in, especially Adam and Eve. Naked Adam and Eve, like in really strange colors, just does nothing for me. But these two, whoops, wait, don't slide off. These two are adorable. The guy's a little pale. He needs a tan. I guess the girl does too. I might change that, but look at her dress. Isn't that wonderful? And he's giving her a flower. Love it. And I hadn't noticed before where the title comes from, but Hope, Faith. Oh, and there's a kitty. Not many samplers have kitties. There's 2 kitties, even if there is a dog. I'll let the dog stay. Butterflies, birds, peace, Wonderful house, gorgeous bouquet, and love. Look at that bouquet. Isn't that wonderful? So yeah. Love that. I have plenty of fabric and floss. I could start this. Whoops, Bloomtopia just fell. Hold on. Bad Bloomtopia. It has mostly overdyed flosses, Country Cottage, or Classic Colorworks and Weeks, but it also has a few DMCs. This one. This is the one when she first showed a sneak peek on Instagram, my mouth fell open. Because what she showed a sneak peek of was that. So a glimpse of that butterfly and the flower basket. This is Newcastle Bouquet. Now, I do have to say, I think I would get tired of the border after a while, but I could see just doing the inside, because that is stunning. So that one. And that again is Classic Colorworks, Weeks, and DMC. All of these I think are on 40 count. Yeah. Next we have Heaven and Nature. And I think what got me on this, again, something you don't usually see in a sampler, a raccoon. How awesome is that? So your typical, you have squirrels, you have angels, you have a peacock, all kinds of cool little motifs, and that huge red house. And then the pretty trees with the stags, an owl underneath. Love, love, love. That one will wait till closer to Christmas. And then definitely last but not least, her newest angel. She really needs to chart all of her angels. I know she already has some up. Oh, so pretty. This is all charted in DMC. Look at that dress. Oh, just gorgeous. So, that's my market haul. Then I finally got, I'm gonna take this one out too. I finally got the January and February sampler of the month from the attic. Pour la Fête, it's a T. This is Lindsay Jane Designs. Lindsay Lane? Lindsay Lane, helps if I can read. She's a big girl. So many awesome motifs. Look how pretty. And with that, I got the fabric to go with it. This is Confederate Gray, one of my favorite colors from Weeks Dye Works. Finally got this. It took a while. They were backed up, probably with the fabric, I don't know. I ordered it at the beginning of January and I just got it last week. So I think that's one of the things when you have, this was a really popular sampler for them, I think. So I think they had a hard time keeping up with the demand. But that's okay. It's not like I'm starting it anytime soon, as much as I might want to. All right, so I think that's pretty much it for this segment. I did want to share with you though, there's another missing stitches from my Narnia chart. Again, eagle-eyed Brenda found this. So let me see if I can show you. This is in the big kind of handkerchief looking, oh shoot, motif on the left. So if you look here at this corner, you can see the gold at the very corner and the blue diagonally from it. Those two got left out over on the other side, here on this side. So I will be doing another update. You can choose to re-download the PDF, or you can just go knowing that those have to, you know, write a note that those have to be filled in. So blue and gold. And I think you can see where that's supposed to go. That line of blue extends one, and then a gold in that corner there. So thank you, Brenda. And so sorry for, and that's one of the things with something this detailed. You really need somebody like Brenda to look it over and check all the things for you. Okay, so I think that is it. Yes, I actually have notes this time. All right, last but not least. She's another pretty one. And you know what I love about these? Like, look at this texturing in the background. These are mixed media art pieces that she has done, Teresa Kogut. Script writing back there, just all kinds of different texturing. Just so pretty. So this one says, and I mean, every single week these are appropriate, aren't they? Isn't that amazing? Act like your life is a blessing, and you'll start feeling like life is a blessing. Give thanks for your blessed life. I give thanks for you. I know I have so much to be thankful for. I'm trying to keep that in the forefront. Some days are going to be easier than others. I know that. I hope you guys can keep that in the forefront as well. I hope you all stay healthy. Stay away from people. I have no problem staying away from people. I'm good with that. But yeah, just take care of you and take care of your loved ones. If you know some elderly that need your help, that you can go and get stuff for them, I hope somebody does that for my in-laws, because it's gonna get worse before it gets better, guys. So take care. I will be back on Friday with some kind of Stitch with Me. Until then, I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.